What is going to happen in real estate in 2025? Where the hell are we going, Mark?
Well, I don't know if we anything like 2024. I don't expect big things until we see some more rate drops, right? I think 2024 was a letdown to the sellers in the market today and of this year, right? We still see an abundance of inventory sitting there rotting away. Predictions, what? Predictions for 2025, they say 3 to 5%. Well, we're going to show you two things. We're going to go through our opinions, and I think we're going to go through some numbers of what 2024 looked like compared to the previous year. So,
Well, I want to look into the article that is going to tell us apparently what's happening in 2025.
right, right,
That's what everybody wants to know.
right.
Everybody that's commenting, all my listings, all my calls, everybody's like, what's going to happen? What's going on? That's all anybody cares about.
That too, but the overall consensus that I've seen in most comments have been, you know, it's overpriced and there's more, and it needs to come down another couple hundred K or 30 or 40%. I don't think we're going to see that. But
That's
I'm
not
going
going
to
to happen.
say, but here's my thoughts is why do people see that? Because they see the pricing. We see the pricing on different levels than they do. Even yesterday I looked at a property on Bannister. No, that looks like a nice private client looking for something in the 1.2 range. So I pull it up because I always go to the history. It's been listed for, I don't know, 4 months. Started off at 1.4. 1.4? 1.2 is still overpriced. So we wonder where the sentiment of the market is and why some of these people think, and not some, a lot, think there's a lot more downside on some of these properties. Yeah, there is a lot more downside,
Some of them,
right? And then, as you know, we see stuff that's been priced properly. It sells. How long did Jessica's property sell? 2 days?
one day,
One day.
not 24 hours,
Right. Because it was priced right. I remember me and you talking about that property in Western Jeremy going, what's the price? 729 is the right price.
39.
739. And she got 739.
Mhm.
Showed well, showed decent. That's the right price. But if she would have put that, say, 759, 769, not going to happen.
No.
So anyway, take us through the article a little bit and what the so-called experts say, and then let's jump over to our numbers and show them what 2024 numbers look like. Because they tell a different story.
Well, the thing is, so this is like Southern Ontario platform, so it's this kind of area, and
Yep.
they start talking about the current market overview and like they talk about the interest rate hikes and the fact that 2023 and 2024 were shitty. Okay.
Well, they were. We didn't see transactions are down, I think 11%, Dan, year to date in Barrie
Yeah.
over last year. Last year was a crap year.
Yeah.
So what about
So
the
they're
key?
saying that the key factors for next year are the interest rate stabilization, the government
Okay.
policy and regulatory changes, which I've been telling you is going to keep happening. I know it is. They had the 30-year AM on just new builds for new first time buyers. They've already changed it within a month and a half, not even to be any purchase, not just new builds. They can do 30-year AM. It's going to come soon that everyone's going to be able to do a 30-year AM. I can tell you. So the government policy and regulatory changes, immigration population growth, which meaning that, they know that there's going to be a shortage.
I
So
think,
they're going to have to do something, and they are. You see it slowly.
but
So
is
they
it,
think that the housing
why
prices,
are we doing it so slow then if we see all these problems?
well, they're not really, because like first they do first time builds, and within a month or 6 weeks they're changing it already.
But that whole policy didn't make any sense when it first came out on August 1st. It made zero sense because no one's building. So
I
why
know.
put a policy in housing that's going to help? It did absolutely nothing. What like they should have asked any Joe Louis off the street about that. Didn't make any sense for that.
No. And
Late,
most
late.
new home buyers can't buy a new build anyway. They're too high priced.
They're too expensive, and it's not going to help the problem right now. That's going to take 2 years before they get it done. 2.5 years, maybe three. right?
Yeah.
Some 4. So,
They're expecting the market to stabilize by mid 2025, and prices are likely to show a moderate growth, but will not return to the explosive price hike seen in the 2020s.
okay, so let's talk about that before we go any further, because, you know, can you, could, okay, can you hold there and maybe go to our spreadsheet where the numbers are by range? Because it will make sense when I go through this. So what Dan's going to pull up right now is going to show you again, September's numbers will be out tomorrow. So we'll be doing some updated numbers on that. But this is of end of August of this year. So if we look at the sales, even the transactions were around 18% over last year, correct? We got 158 and 18%, 772 listings, increase of 27%. And year-to-date sales, they were down 7% year-to-date. I thought it was 11. So year-to-date. But if we go by, do we have any numbers for the inventory ranges by, or we don't, I don't think, eh?
Yeah.
Be good. So take a look, folks. So I don't want the sales. These are the actives. I'm not concerned about the lower
Solds
price.
are right here.
Right. Yeah.
Actives are right there.
Right.
So this is
Again,
the inventory. This is what's sold.
right. Even though this is last month, but inventory has gone up since last month. So we've seen 3 areas of real big surges in inventory, one being the 7 to 8 range, 8 to 9 range, and over 1 million range. And it really hasn't come down all year. If anything, it's gone up month over month because we're continually seeing some people. And I say this all the time and I keep saying it. I'm sick of saying it, but I don't understand the motivation for some sellers. If sellers think today that rates are going to, just because we have a 0.25 or could be next time a 50 basis points rate cut's going to drive this market. It's not going to drive this market. It's just not going to. I do not see that happening until things get really much better in this country. And the sentiment to me is in the gutter. We can tell by our comments, the sentiment is not good.
Well, Mark, that's why I'm saying last year they said the projections were going to be higher than this.
Right. And they're not. We just went through some sales. Prices are
But
down points.
look at how right now they're only saying 3 to 5%. All of a sudden they're being very
More cautious.
sorry.
They're a little bit more cautious than putting out a number if they're thinking double-digit increases
Yep.
happening. We may
So
not see that.
even though they're saying that this, and the condo market's seeing slightly lower growth.
Oversupply of new development. Look, the condo market sucks here, so you can imagine when it sucks in bigger urban centers, like cities like that.
Yeah.
It's
So they're saying the condo market's not even going to do as good as that.
no, it's
And
not.
therefore, and 3 to 5%, and not till mid 2025. So this is what they're saying. So people that right now are listed with this high price thinking that there's going to be a big boom, there's not. So
There's not. There's
no.
not. There's just not, right? And it's just the pricing is so wrong. I looked at a property at 37, I think it was 37 Marshall, listed for 1.2,
I know I've seen that.
right? Small property. It's $1,050,000 at best. And that's a list price. So, and listed for multiple months. And this is common. So sellers just really price it for today's market. Don't worry about next year's market because there's going to be
Well,
small.
it's the boom that you expect isn't coming. And they're saying that outside of Toronto, like Hamilton, Oshawa, Barrie, will actually have some growth
Right.
because of people not affording the GTA, which we've always seen.
Right. We've seen that for many years in our market and only getting, bigger every year gets more and more and more demand for this market here. Right.
And they're saying that there's going to be an increase in demand for sustainability and green, but
Mhm.
you know what? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think the
It's
consumer.
too much money, Mark.
I agree.
I understand there is more of that wanted, but the prices are so high in that.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So here's the challenges that we need to look for, Mark.
Okay, read them off.
economic slowdown. If the Canadian economy goes slower than expected in growth or a recession, the housing market could face reduced demand, causing prices to stagnate or decline. Continued supply shortages. Even with the government's targets, housing supply does not keep up with demand. Prices could skyrocket again. Mortgage defaults. Higher interest rates from previous years may lead to an increase in mortgage defaults. It could introduce downward pressure on prices if distressed sales increase. So what they're telling you is it could go up or it could go down,
Pretty much.
or who the hell knows?
Well, that's it, and when we're done this little part, go back and maybe go to the board and pull up the actives. It would be interesting to see how many active listings.
Oh, there's a lot more than there is now
Right.
than there was
So,
last time we looked.
correct. So, we don't know. There's a lot of supply right now. There really is. There's a bit of supply in the market. And I know the reason. It's the pricing.
I think that's part of the reason, but I think it's the other part of the reason is people thinking that it's going to keep going down. Because I can tell you, some of them that go on the price, like not everything's overpriced. I'm telling you right now.
Well,
I know
everything.
you keep going on about that because there is a lot overpriced, but I'm telling you, not everything is. And
No,
they're
not
sitting too.
But
They're sitting too. Like buyers think we're going to see a huge drop and they're waiting.
well, that's what the comments are telling us on our channels, right?
Yeah.
We've been seeing that, right?
Yeah. So we have 606 freehold.
Okay.
Write this down. Put this in your calendar. Because I got to add the condos now, okay?
All right.
606. We're going to be way over 800.
Oh yeah, I know we are. I know.
212.
There you go.
So we're 818.
818. In August, when we did that video,
We were at 777.
right? So it's
772.
so it's gonna be safe to say, without even looking, we're gonna see another decline in transactions for August over last year. That 7% year-to-date sales probably gonna go to 8, maybe 8.5.
Well, I can try to do a quick sale count right now, but I don't know. It's not going to be, we're going to have to do a stats video. But if I put
Yeah.
sold
30
and I
days.
put between, I will see. Like, there's always ones that go like, the stats don't actually match us exactly.
150.
150.
Can you
We
go?
had 158 last August.
Okay, go last year. And I don't think, look how nice the weather was in September. This was our July.
I know this takes a second, people, but bear with me. Why can I not do this?
There you go.
132.
Wow. So we may, again, until we get the numbers,
But we might actually see an increase.
that would be a shock. That would be
Mhm.
shock.
But this includes condos here, these numbers.
Right. Right. I know.
So like we don't know for sure, right?
I know. Let's just see. But freehold anyway gives us an idea to what's going to go on. Go back to the article. We can narrow
That
it
was the
down.
end of it.
What? I'm sorry.
That was the end of it.
Oh, that was the end of it, eh? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the end. The things that could change the price.
Right. Right. So
Like they said, so, if the market doesn't do, if the economy doesn't increase, then the prices could go down. If demand actually starts going crazy, then the prices might go up.
we could forecast that pretty clear, folks. But we're not seeing it right now. We haven't seen it this year so far, right?
Well, and you know what the big takeaway for me is, Mark? The big takeaway is that nobody thinks it's going to boom in 2025.
Oh, it's not, I don't think so, not at
There's no
all.
boom.
There's no boom. There's
Is
no
there
boom.
going to be a huge decrease either? I don't think so. I think it's
No,
going to
I don't.
stay pretty flat.
I think it is very similar to this year. I think we may see some uptick, right? We always get excited in the first quarter of the year, right? Which isn't, too far away. So, we see listings come up in late January and they sell for over asking because the buyers come back a little bit around that time, start looking and get the itch. And then as more inventory comes on, it kind of settles down a bit, loses some steam. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But anyway, I think we covered off some things. What we think in 2025, I think inventory is going to keep going up, and I think um, the motivation needs to change and the pricing needs to change for
Yeah.
the market. If that changes, then I think we'll see some. I don't think we'll see much growth, but if it
I
does,
think I think we have to see a change in consumer confidence too.
well, yeah, there's a lot of negativity out there. We got a government that's going bananas right now, right? People are, strapped financially, high rents, and in that article too, before I go, it talked about rents increasing 5 to 10% based on demand. Look at the rents, right? They're pretty expensive right now. There's not a
A
lot of
lot of
supply.
people are getting out of their houses, but they're not buying.
They're
They're
not buying.
renting.
Some are, some are going to go back to renting. Little wait till the market changes, move out of the province, older demographic. They're not buying. Okay, I think that's a wrap. If you like the content, want some more information in the Barrie Real Estate Simcoe County area, reach out to Dan and myself and hit the like and subscribe button for more information your way.
Perfect.
See you.
Yeah.